Hey guys, so this is a quick explanation of what you guys have to do for our current task 7, which is our last activity from the intermediate phase. For this assignment, what you're going to do is you're going to make your contributions individually, but at the end, the final product would be a collaborative presentation. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're very responsible for making your contributions on time. First, what you have to do is you have to go through the contents of Unit 3. To do so, you have here the different ebooks. What you have to do is just click here and it's going to open the ebook for Unit 10. Okay, you have to explore Unit 10, 11, and 12. And the idea is that you go through all of the lessons and through all of the exercises. Once you have studied all of these units, then you're going to come back here and you're going to focus on studying comparatives and superlatives. To do so, I suggest some websites. You just have to click here and they're going to open the different websites. So here you have an explanation, you have here another explanation, and then you have some grammar exercises for you to complete with the comparative or the superlative form of the adjectives they're giving you. And at last here we have another explanation. In case you still have some questions, then I also give you two video tutorials that I think that are super good to explain this topic. Once you have studied all of this, you're going to choose one of the topics for comparison. You can either start on this step and you can do these ones later. So you're going to choose one of those topics. You can find the topics at the bottom of this message. You just have to go down, 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 and here you're going to find topics for comparison. That's going to open this file, and you get to choose people, one, models and actresses, wild animals, cars, and tennis players. Okay? You guys here have an example, which is the same example I shared on the forum. So what you're going to do after choosing your topic, you're going to leave a message just like Ruidaliana already did. She says, I choose the first topic, people want, and alertar role. Okay, so this is an important thing that you have to do. You have to make sure that all of your group mates know which of the topics you're going to make because each one of you will have to have a different group of comparisons. Okay, so make sure that you leave in the forum your message notifying your group mates which topic you're going to be working with. Then you're going to make the description. What you're going to do is you're going to write a description describing each of the characters that you have chosen. Okay, so in this case, I have Laura Green, I have Hannah Jones, Rachel Tyler, and Greta Simon. And I start explaining what I'm seeing. So there are four women, all of them are beautiful and young. Laura has long, straight brown hair and brown eyes. Hannah Jones has short red hair and big green eyes. Rachel Tyler has long, straight black hair and her eyes are blue. And finally, Greta Simon has short blonde hair and blue eyes too. Okay, so you're going to make a description with each of the topics that you choose. So, if for instance you chose tennis players, so you're going to make a description of Rafael Nadal, of Novak Djokovic, and of Roger Federer. Once you have done your description, you're going to create 5 comparative sentences, 3 comparisons of equality, and 3 superlative sentences. Okay, so you know that comparative sentences are the one that goes with the er and then the than. Equality goes with as, and superlative sentences go with est. Okay, so in this case, for example, Laura is shorter than Rachel because Laura's height is 1.65 while Rachel is 1.70. Okay, and you're going to create the other sentences. Once you have done this, you're going to share it to the forum so that your group mates can check it and gives you feedback. Okay, in this case, for instance, for Vidaliana already gave her description and her comparison, and I gave her the feedback. So she's missing some sentences, there are some things that she could change, there are some things that she need to revise, there are some spelling that she must check. Okay, so the idea is that if you do this soon, um, not only me, but your other group mates will be able to give you some feedback. Once the feedback phase is done, you're going to create a PowerPoint presentation. To do so, according to the activity guide, you have to use Prezi. But I give you the option to use Genially if you like it. Okay, so you can choose if you prefer Prezi or if you prefer Genially. And what you're going to do with these sentences is that you're going to create a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to show you one from one of the students from last semester. Her name was Jessica Matthews. Okay, and she had the topic wild animals. So she had wild animals, she makes her description, and on the second slide, she makes her comparative sentences, her comparisons of equality, and her superlative sentences. Okay, in this PowerPoint presentation, it's going to be shared in the forum. Okay, you have to post it in the forum. You have to use pictures, you have to use photographs of the items that you chose. So in the case of Jessica, she chose wild animals, which included an elephant, a crocodile, and a lion. So if you chose cars, then you're going to have to put pictures here of the cars. If you chose the tennis players, then you're going to do the same with them. Okay? Once you have shared your PowerPoint presentation, you have to choose your role. You can choose between compiler, reviser, or editor, evaluator, submitter, and alerts. Okay? As the collaborative part, all of you, and I need to make emphasis here, all of the group members must design the Prezi or the Genially presentation. Okay, so to do so, the compiler is going to design a PowerPoint presentation where he or she includes all the PowerPoint presentations that you shared as an individual exercise. The presentation should be somewhere between 10 and 15 slides. Okay, in this case, for example, and I go back to the exercise made by Jessica, she only had 2 slides. So 2 slides are enough to give all the information that you must include. What you're going to do is you're going to create a Prezi presentation like the one that we have here. Okay, so pretty much you have all the group mate names, then you have the name of the tutor, and of course the course. What you need to make sure, and this is one of the tasks that the um, evaluator, not the revisor, has to make sure that the presentation is working, the same as the evaluator. Okay, you got to make sure that the slides are presented in order. Sometimes when we create presentations, they go from here to here and then they go back here. So the idea is that you make this as organized as possible. So when we give click here, it's going to appear the information that Jessica Matthews shared in her PowerPoint presentation. So here we got the description. If we click next, we're going to find the comparative sentences. If we click next, then we're going to find the comparisons of equality. And at last, we're going to find the superlative sentences. And we continue, and it goes like back to the beginning. And now I'm going to start with models and actresses from Daisy Karina Urbina, which was another student. She has her description, and if you click here, it's going to go to comparative sentences, then to the comparisons of equality, and at last to the superlative sentences. So the idea is that you make sure that this presentation is super organized. If you don't want to work with Prezi, you can work with Geniali, which let me show you. Okay, so what you're going to do here is that you're going to choose a template. I'm going to show you how. Okay, so you're going to create a presentation. You can choose presentation, you can choose those here, you can choose infographics. There are different options that you can explore, and you're going to create. So they're going to present you different types of templates that you can use. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose one that it's free. So you can just click here and all of the possibilities are going to appear. So you're going to make sure that you choose one and you're going to create just your presentation. So for instance, if you choose to work with, let's say this one, and this is just an example, you don't have to use this one. Okay, so here would be the name of our activity, which is task 7, create a presentation about comparatives and superlatives. And when you click here, then here will appear the information for the people. Okay, and when you click next, then it should be the comparative sentences. And if I click next, it should appear the comparisons of equality. And if I click next, then I will find the superlative sentences of that first group. Okay, so you have to make sure that all of your slides are in here. Once you have completed your Prezi or your Geniali presentation, what you're going to do is that the submitter, it's going to post the link in this forum. Okay, you can find the link in each of the places. So here, for instance, we got the link for the Prezi presentation. And once you have completed your link for Geniali, then they're going to give you a link too. So you're going to share, the submitter will share that link in this forum, and he or she is going to include it to the PowerPoint presentation that the compiler made. Okay, so remember that the compiler had to make a PowerPoint presentation that included all the slides you created. Then what the submitter is going to do is that at the end of that presentation, he or she is going to copy and paste the link to the presentation. Please make sure that the link is working. Okay? And at last, the submitter and only the submitter is going to send the final PowerPoint document to the evaluation and assessment environment. Okay? Here you have some dates that you can follow if you want to. This is just an observation that I'm making you guys, but you don't have to exactly follow these ones. Okay? Through all the time framework that the activity has, which closes on November 28th, the person that chooses the role of alerts will have to send messages motivating the group mates and remembering the deadlines. Okay? So, quick review. What you have to do as an individual part, if you have to comment choosing the topic and the role you chose, you have to make a comment with your individual contribution, which includes the description and the comparative sentences, the comparisons of equality, and the superlative sentences. Be careful because you have to make, and I have that information here, 5 comparative sentences, 3 comparisons of equality, and 3 superlative sentences, okay, besides the description. So once you have done, you have to give feedback to your group mates and you have to share your PowerPoint presentation with the description and the sentences. At last, you guys have to create your Prezi presentation or your Geniali presentation and you have to submit it to the evaluation and assessment environment, okay? That's all. If you have any other questions, I'm going to be with you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. in a Zoom web conference. See you around.